I have one character. I had two. One got vetoed, and one it seems like it's about to be vetoed. But I was tracking for the most part. Phineas from Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, there's not a theatrical.
There's no theatrical Phineas and Ferb.
But there was in
What?
Spain.
In Spain.
Hey!
Look, I did my homework. Right, so
I'm gonna add this.
Guys,
so the commissioner is racist against Spanish people, is what we're finding out.
Guys, we miss sports way too much.
Welcome to Sports Den, the podcast. We haven't seen you for a bit, but we decided we needed to do something. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but there's not really any sports that are happening right now. So we kind of trying to think of something else to do. I don't know if it is true or not, but I saw a link that said ESPN could be playing Disney movies because they need to fill time slot. That's always some stuff. So with that, I gave an idea of, well, Disney in sports, there's always been a little bit of a thing, but what would a basketball team made up of Disney characters look like? Which led us to naturally, well, we need to make a fantasy basketball draft with Disney characters. So give a quick explanation of what we're looking for before we get into it. That we're going to go through. I'm going to go ahead and start and give our number one overall pick, who is Jonathan, whose team is the Houston Dreambeard. 1 minute on the clock, and we're going to explain some of the rules here, and then we're going to go through and get his pick. So our basic rules are we want characters that are Disney movies. So not movies that just because are Disney characters in movies. So they got to be animated, they've got to be a theatrical release, and they've got to be associated with Disney. So there's a movie that we had a little conversation on, Wreck-It Ralph. There's a lot of characters in Wreck-It Ralph that aren't Disney characters, so they cannot be drafted.
Unfortunately.
Because Ben is a thief of joy.
No, Ben is the commissioner, and you will be silent. I will take away your pick. But I will remove draft picks. That's a thing. Commissioners can do that. But anyway, so going on with that. So we have those rules there. Superpowers and magic. There's a lot of magical people in Disney. So we kind of do have to put a little limit on that. Otherwise, you're just going to have characters changing and flying across. So there are some limits to what a powered character can do. If a character has a superpower, they can do that once every. We think they can do that once every media timeout or so. It takes a little bit of time to power that up. Also, they can only do it for one. We're going to say shot clock duration. So if they score a basket early, it's done, it's over. Otherwise, they can continue it on for that same duration of the shot clock, whether that's defensive or offense. Also, there are other players that are definitely still strong. So if they've just got regular base abilities, if a character can fly and they can always fly, well, they can always fly. But you can't dribble the ball while flying because we're going to call that traveling in our league. So we're going to go through, if we address and we run into any other issues, because, we might run into issues, we're going to go through those as we get. So as everyone makes their pick, they're going to explain their pick. I'm asking some questions about it and why everyone else is going through. So with the first overall pick in the 2020 Disney basketball draft, the Houston Dreambeards select Fix-It, Felix out of Wreck-It Ralph.
First?
All right, so Fix-It, Felix. You know what? That was not who I expected.
Fix-It Felix would be the best point guard of all time.
All right.
Is he not?
While we're discussing this, our next up is going to be Blazed in the Woods, who is going to be going through and thinking of this. We have 1 minute on the clock. All right, so Jonathan, Fix-It Felix. What was your thinking behind that?
Fix-It Felix would be the best point guard of all time. A play breaks, he can fix it. Boom. Your guy has a busted jumper for a quarter. Boom, he can fix it. He is an extension of your coach on the floor the entire time. Look at the way he makes Ralph realize being a bad guy doesn't make him a bad guy. And then he even gets all of the other video game characters to come together and be helpful. While Ralph's off on his existential crisis and like his whole big crisis of identity and whatever, Felix is there locking it down, getting the team together, and going out ready to win a championship. Fix It Felix is my first overall pick.
All right. That's, you know what, like I said, that was not one that
I feel like Anthony Bennett just happened.
I completely missed that because this is Zoom and people talk over each other.
I said I feel like Anthony Bennett just happened.
That's a pick that I'm not going to lie, it's come out of nowhere. None of our analysts see it, but you know what? Those are really, really good points to make. That's a really good thing. Well,
that was Markelle Fultz. That's what it was.
There you go.
No, his jumper will be fixed.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised. That may have been a reach, though. I don't know if anyone else was going to go that high.
You could have saved him for your last pick, and no one was going to.
I had him in my top 40.
I didn't make my cut. My point guard's
not on my list. Not at all.
No.
I have like 6 point guards over here.
Again, I like it. It's a nice pick. So, clarification. So we're picking 5 players, and we're picking an X factor. That X factor can be a player off the bench. That X factor can be a coach. That X factor can be an owner for some reason. It can be a GM. It could be a voice that you want associated with your team. Whatever. But those are your picks. That's the X factor pick going through. So that would have been a perfect X factor. But all right, an X factor number 1. All right, with the second pick in the 2020 Disney Basketball Draft, Blazed in the Woods select CHERNOBOG from Fantasia.
Yep. That's a good one.
Changing.
With that, the Mighty Dunks are on the clock.
When you look at the lack of like elite 5s, you get somebody who's gigantic. He can fly. He can light himself on fire, and he can summon. You cannot get a better 5 who also hits the maximum 8 feet tall. This guy, I mean, he's 8 feet tall, and then he can fly and light himself on fire. There's very few people that the beast cannot shove around, but this guy is it. This is the Wilt Chamberlain of our picks. And when you look at people, he has the ability to shoot because he has arms. There's a lot of other good 5s who are animals out there, but he has arms. This cannot be understated for the strength. And I was very nervous that he wasn't going. My first pick would have been Merlin, but after the clarification of shape-shifting, Merlin got removed. So I will go with the next guy who's gigantic. So CHERNOBOG is going to turn into the Kevin Durant, and whatever Fix It Felix is going to be the Greg Oden of this draft.
You would know that very well.
I do know that very well.
Sure.
I know about screwing up drafts.
I'll take Greg Oden over Sam Bowie every day.
Chuck's right. That next pick is in, but yeah, I like that pick. That pick kind of comes out of it doesn't come out of nowhere, but a guy from the movie Fantasia, that's like
it comes out of creativity.
Like that's a small school. That's not a.
He was on my list.
Not a powerhouse school. Like you wouldn't immediately go Fantasia.
I thought he was going to fall to the second round for sure.
That's great. All right. With the third pick in the 2020 Disney Draft, the Mighty Dunks select Hercules, the son of Zeus.
Yeah, that's
good pick. Good solid pick.
Good pick.
That's a good pick.
I mean, obviously the best athlete in the draft.
The Tangles are on the clock. So, Sean, what do we got here? Or Sean, that Mighty Dunks. That wasn't Sean.
Jordan.
So,
I'm super excited. This is awesome. We got the best athlete in the draft. Obviously, the first draft pick was going to be Sonic the Hedgehog, but that got vetoed. So we got to have athleticism. The best thing about him is, he has, some leadership capabilities, but he can also rough it up down low. He can be, big and powerful, but he's also got the athletic ability to kind of maybe even step out a little bit, maybe run our offense. He has all this coordination. It's the best all-around skill set we can start with to build our team around.
It is. That's who I kind of had him thought. I had him pegged as number 1 on the board. I figured he was going 1 or 2. Not saying the other 2 were not great picks.
I'm just saying. Well, actually, no, that doesn't work. If we switched pick 2 and 3, it would be Hakeem and then Sam Bowie, and then I got Michael Jordan. But apparently, Sam Bowie got picked first.
Sam Bowie got picked first.
No. I'm still confident with my pick.
That's Hercules. I said that was a pick that I had. I mean, it's all around. You can't go wrong with the son of a Greek god. Like you can't. Like, there's a reason why they call them legends, and the legends are all based off of that particular guy. So in there. So with the next pick in the 2020 Disney Basketball Draft, the Tangles select Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Solid
Good
pick.
Art, good pick.
Good, solid pick.
Frozen North, you are on the clock. So, who are your thoughts, Amber? What were your thoughts on taking Beast?
I'm using him as a center because you kind of want a tall and someone who can protect, and he's crazy enough to get in your face, and he's tall enough that you probably can't shoot over him. Yeah. So that's my logic.
This is DeMarcus
Also,
Cousins.
he's scary, so he's gonna strike fear in people, and maybe they'll stay away.
This is DeMarcus Cousins. You will lead the league in technical fouls.
That's okay though, as long as you don't get too many where you're kicked out of the game.
My first one, and goes. I know he's a little bit. He's not as big as you would think there. But my first comparison would have been Draymond.
Yeah,
So, like, if
Draymond.
Draymond was taller.
He's gonna have that kind of a persona, that kind of a place.
That's more of what I was thinking. But he's a team player, I feel like, too.
What Disney movie are you watching? He's the antithesis of a team player. Everyone out.
Not towards the end.
In the tower. Like, he's not.
He
towards
is
the
capable
end,
of learning.
He's
You
coachable.
just have to have
He's
Bell tell him what to do,
coachable.
and he'll do it.
Oh my goodness, the Beast is Zebo.
All right.
Okay.
His personality changes there at the end of his career. The Beast is Zebo.
All right. So, and then just heads up to everyone. So, the Frozen North is going to get back-to-back picks because we're doing this snake style. So we're going to talk. I do have both of his picks, but we're going to give him a minute to talk about each one of them. And so then after that, we're going to go back to the Tangles after that. So you've still got a little bit of time. But I'm going to announce the one pick, and then I'm going to announce the next one after that. So with the next pick, the Frozen North select Stitch out of LILO and
Good, solid pick.
All right. So thought, what was your thinking there?
Let me just tell you the thought process behind the creation of Stitch. Dr. Junebug gives the following rundown of his powers. He is bulletproof, fireproof, and he can think faster than a supercomputer. He can see in the dark and can move objects at least 3,000 times his size. His instinct is programmed to destroy. And that's exactly what he's going to do to opposing defenses, especially in the pick and roll. I'm sorry for Fix-It Felix, but I believe that Stitch will be the greatest point guard in this league. Based on not only the physical strength and specimen that he is, but the mental capacity of a supercomputer. So
that's not a bad. You're not worried about a shot getting blocked.
I'm really not. I think my next pick might go to show what I've got in motion as far as what is going to this.
Stitch is what, 2 feet tall in this league? Maybe.
He said he would be point guard size, so he's going to be like 5'9". He's going to be like.
I don't know. 3. That's He's going to be a short guy, but that's
He's going to be Isaiah Thomas.
He just picked Patrick Beverly with the first round pick.
No, he's not that tall. He's got to be Muggsy Bogues height. Like, you're talking about a guy who's comparable in the movies as a dog. Like he's the shortest.
Muggsy Bogues' height with the strength of Shaq. I mean, I would love to see your point guard score on me. That's all I'm saying. It's
true. Defense is going to be the big thing for.
It is going to be a big thing.
No, all right. So that's the next part here. And then with
But here's the deal: when his teammate gets his ankles broken, can his point guard fix it?
Shut up, Jonathan.
The Tangles are on the clock as we have the next pick in. With the next pick, Frozen North select James P. Sullivan, Monster University.
That was a good one.
All right.
So
here's that center pick.
Here's the deal. This is going to be the greatest pick and roll tandem in the league, as far as I can fathom or understand. You have one of the most intimidating characters with the ability to intimidate. I mean, he's rocking the height about 7'6", weight about 760. So size and defense, and you look at the wingspan of Sully, I mean, his arms reach the floor from his shoulders. So this is where you have the defensive anchor. Not only that, but I mean, dude, this is Rudy Gobert if Rudy Gobert was on Shaq-size steroids. I mean, this is I guess I would make this comparison to Shaq. James P. Sullivan would be the modern day Shaquille O'Neal, or the modern era Shaquille O'Neal. And with that, like I said, I believe it's the best and deadliest pick and roll in the game.
They've already got a nickname. They're the Blues Brothers, aren't they?
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's already there. All right. With the next pick in the 2020 draft, the Tangles select Chang from Mulan. Not a bad. And with that, then the Mighty Dunks are on the clock. So what was your thought on Chang?
I had him because he's very athletic and agile, so I had him kind of as he can play multiple positions. But I was thinking more point guard because he has the speed. He can shoot because you see he has really good game and is very athletic. And then he's also really good as far as a leader and knowing like strategies and things like that. So that was my thought process with that one.
He's got all your intangibles and your measurables. I mean, he's swift as a raging river with all the force of a great typhoon. And then he's got those intangibles, mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
Yeah, good pick.
We see him shoot. I mean, I was shooting bow and arrows, but I'm going to assume it translates. I mean,
right? Oh yeah,
nails bullseyes with bows and arrows. I can't imagine that doesn't translate.
I was just thinking of, if we're thinking of super athletic Disney characters, he was the one that came to mind. Like, I would want him on my sports team, and I would pick him for most sports teams. I feel like he'd translate.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Maybe a reach for your second pick, but that's not bad. All right. Maybe just a thought. Just saying. Just commentating here. All right. With the next,
I didn't pick Fix It Felix, so.
I love you too, wife.
With the next pick, the Mighty Ducks select Maui from Mulan.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Can't stop Maui when he's on the breakaway.
That's that. Ladies in the Woods, you are on the clock.
I'm just saying, like, Maui, I'm going to play him more as my off forward next to Hercules. That basically is going to give me, I feel like Maui can play defense or he can play offense. He's obviously also got the strength to help bang down low if we need somebody to go inside. Basically, the two of them are going to be the strongest forward tandem in the league. Really, really solid defense. They both got the stamina to go back and forth, even though Maui doesn't look like he's got stamina. He uses it a lot. He's just ready to go. And what can I say, you guys? You're welcome for this pick.
Yeah.
I cannot believe you did not make one hook shot.
Oh, he does have a killer hook shot. Yes.
You were so focused on the "You're welcome" joke, you missed the hook shot.
I did. Oh, I can't even believe I missed that one.
A lesser commissioner would take away a draft pick, but I won't do that. All right. So then with that pick in, so the next pick, Blaze in the Woods selects ELASTIGIRL, Incredibles.
Shoot.
Yeah.
So not a bad. Houston Dreambeards, you are on the clock.
You are talking about a very limited, like the fours in this draft are so strong and so deep that even some of the ones that have been mentioned, there's still great fours out there. But when you talk about threes who are capable of literally doing 3 and D, this is it. This is your best 3 and D player out there, just because of her complete flexibility. Even given its restrictions, she can shut anybody down. You go by, unless you were dunking it, she can still reach up and swat away your layups. She is a fantastic defensive player. And with having CHERNOBOG at the 5, he is prime Wilt Chamberlain. I need to build my D around her. And with those two, with my 5 and my 3 locked up, ELASTIGIRL lets me do things that no other 3 available can do. So this was a very simple 3.
That's not, it's different. I was not, that's a great pick. I was not expecting her to go before her husband. That is not my first, what I was expecting. I really thought he was going to go earlier. But
I had her way higher than him.
There's nothing wrong with ELASTIGIRL.
Jay Billis School, wingspan.
Small forward, that's where it's at. All right, again, this is going to be another one of our flip picks. So Jonathan is going to get to pick here twice. I do have both of his picks in, but we're going to announce them one at a time. Then after that, it'll be back to Blaze in the Woods. But you're not on the clock quite yet. So with the next pick, Houston Dreambeards select Tigger, Winnie the Pooh.
I need that bounce.
Shoot.
This is all about bounceability. This is, I mean, this is Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, and Michael Jordan all rolled into one. It is just, I mean, all your offensive rebounds are mine. It is just all of it, all the offensive boards, breakaway dunks. The crowd gonna be hyped. It is just gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be great on the breakaway. And you know what? I'm not worried that he's gonna be just some sort of athletic freak that doesn't know how to play, because if his brain doesn't work, the point guard can fix it.
Stop.
You're going to defend that pick. You're going to be defending that pick this entire draft. And we're also probably going to come up again at some other points in time. And with that, we're going to go on with the next pick. At the same team, the Houston Dreams select Wreck-It Ralph from the movie Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, there goes mine.
I mean, this
Blaze
is
in the Woods. You are on the clock.
I mean, this is just the best. I forgive Sean. I forgive him for thinking he had the best pick and roll tandem. No, now we've got Wreck It and Fix It, and they already have some chemistry built from their school days. Chemistry built up, and Ralph is a absolute terror and a beast. He's got the best hands in the whole draft. He is able to just wreak havoc. Literally is the whole point. And so right now, 3 positions I've got a point guard, I've got a wing in Tigger, bouncy wing, run up the floor, get out in the break, and then my big man Ralph just bringing it down. He's got underrated vertical on Ralph too. So I would consider Ralph, if Fix It Felix is my control everything point guard, then Ralph is probably my Bill Russell center. And I think I would put Ralph up against CHERNOBOG. And I think he's going to be able to wreck everything that CHERNOBOG throws his way.
No.
That's a little bit of a forced one. You're going to get a chance to respond here in a second, because also with the next pick, the third pick in the third, or the second pick in the third round, Blaze in the Woods selects Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles.
Smart.
When you talk about chemistry and team building, you're allowed to have one X factor. That's my Chernobog. He's out there. I need people to keep him in line. And you were talking about instant team chemistry. Not only is this dude a beast and he is fit and can throw gigantic robots around, but he also has that built-in husband-wife chemistry tandem that I get with ELASTIGIRL. So I am running Twin Towers here. Mr. Incredible can handle everything. This Twin Tower setup, he's going to be almost more Zion-esque Williams. But with those 1-2 beasts and the marriage chemistry with ELASTIGIRL, I couldn't pass it up. They were right there, and team chemistry will be fantastic.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. All right. With the next pick in the 3rd round, the Mighty Dunks select Gaston, Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, so the thing we need right now, is my team is some good guys, and I need to mix it up. I need to get somebody who's gonna, kind of get in, do the dirty work, and also with 2 big bruisers, I need some shooting, and nobody shoots like Gaston. So that's my plan. I really have to get. Thank you, Sean. I needed it. It was awesome. It was a great pick. We're super excited. That fills out our front court. Now we got to fill out our back court.
You just picked Bruce Bowen.
Yeah, Bruce Bowen.
Yeah. No, not bad, not bad. I mean, that's there. So are you worried about any chemistry issues?
No, I feel like between Hercules,
a lot of head.
it is a lot of people who are a little overconfident, but with my other picks, I feel like I can pull them back down and get a little bit of help with that.
What position you got him at?
I have him at small forward,
Forward.
which is only possible when you have Maui and Hercules to make Gaston the small forward. But
all right.
Man, and he's roughly the size of a barge. Like, I just...
I love the inspiration from the Knicks free agent signing and how that's
We're going to play four.
Just bring in the power forwards and we'll see how this plays out.
Yes.
With the next pick, the Tango selects Rafiki, the Lion King.
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad at all. Frozen North, you are on the clock. That's not a bad pick. That's a great pick.
That's a great pick.
I had him. He's on my 2s. I like him.
He was on my board as well.
Any reasons for that, Tangles?
I'm using him as a small forward.
Okay.
So, but mainly you saw him in the movie.
Yeah.
You get on his nerves, he'll whack you with a staff, and you'll run away. So.
I mean, that would be a foul.
You wouldn't mess with him again.
He's got wingspan. He's got athleticism. He's got hops. It's solid. It's very solid.
Wingspan, athleticism, not afraid to get dirty.
Travel, all that type of stuff. You'll be fine.
She just picked up Robert Horry. Clutch comes in the clutch.
With the next overall pick, again, this is the last picks of the round. So the Frozen North selects Mulan, shooting guard. Mulan.
Smart.
Smart.
Mulan is what she is, man. She's the fiercest Disney princess alive, and there's no doubting that. There's no doubting her agility, especially under pressure. And we know and we understand. I mean, just from the kind of the Shang profile, like she's got very similar qualities, athletic ability. Putting her at the 2, I think, gives us a nice, good combo with size, physicality in the point guard, and speed and agility in the shooting guard. I have a feeling her accuracy would resemble what we've talked about before. So I'm very confident in that, playing Mulan at the 2.
That's a good pick. That's a very good pick at 2. Very good pick at 2.
Yep, I like it.
I mean, she's accurate. She's one of the best shots that they had around. Fantastic. And then with the next pick, you've got Simba, the Lion King, at small forward. Tangled, you are on the clock.
Here's how I feel about it. Simba definitely had some struggles early on in his career, but this guy was meant to take the throne. And we can see from the leadership ability of Simba, I mean, leadership ability, mental capacity, I believe rivals King LeBron James. And since Simba just can't wait to be king, I like the size, I like the physicality. I don't think he is, the most overbearing three or anything like that, but I think he can keep up with anybody in the league. Just physicality and whatnot. And I think the leadership ability is there. Obviously, he's great under pressure now that we've gotten those kinks worked out, and he had some speciality coaching. And so it feels good to get him through that and finally into that role that he's meant to play.
Are we not worried about the fact that he can't dribble?
Okay, if Buddy can play basketball, Simba can do it. So hush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Disney. This is
not play basketball.
Did you watch Fix It Felix run in the movie? I just
And he runs sideways with his hammer jumping. So
exactly.
I mean,
so
it's called lateral quickness. It is called lateral quickness. It is cutting off the dribble.
I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. Might be a little bit of a party risk. I mean, he spent a huge portion of his life partying with his friends, getting fat. I mean, that's kind of what he did.
True.
Yeah.
True. So he's in game shape now, and the league has relaxed all drug things during this quarantine. So I'm feeling confident.
I see Raymond Felton after the lockout. Shows up, has just spent the entire time eating voodoo donuts, is not ready to play any meaningful basketball. So good luck.
All right. The next pick, the Tangles select ZEUS from Hercules.
Good pick. Good pick.
Good pick. Solid.
I mean, he's arguably better than Hercules, who I think a lot of us had number one on the board.
He is better because he's a god.
Yeah, he's kind of
Hercules is a
absent-minded.
demigod
Who becomes a god at the end of the movie. So.
No, he goes back.
Oh, that's true. He does go back.
You obviously didn't watch the whole movie. He went back for love, but therefore is not a god.
Yeah. And then after
I would agree, though, with the intelligence limitations on ZEUS, which is why I wouldn't have him as high as Hercules. There's definitely the distractions in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And
What position do you have him?
I have him as power forward. He's just supposed to be your big, strong guy there.
All right, I like
So
it.
I think he'll be fine. I'm not anticipating him to strategize the whole game. That's why I have Chang on my team.
Fair.
Okay?
All right. We got our next pick in at literally the last second. Literally the last second.
I thought I had sent it earlier. I just looked down.
I know it's a different sports here, but who is it? The Browns who did that?
Yeah.
So with the next pick, we have Vanellope von Schweet. Wreck-It Ralph, I believe, correct?
Yes. In fact, the best point guard from that movie. So let's think about this. If she gets double teamed, she can literally split the double team by glitching through it. And with the bigs that I have able to set picks for that, it is going to be a nightmare to stop her. She sees angles that other people don't see. She literally goes off-road and kind of goes off the grid and comes back in another way. She'll use angles in a miraculous way. And she's a team player. She likes to push people. She helps motivate other people. She's a great motivator. We need that with Gaston to maybe motivate him into the right direction instead of the wrong direction.
Good luck with that.
That's my plan.
But you have to imagine a glitch is like a jump stop. No, but it's like a jump stop. Like you don't get to glitch and keep dribbling. It's once they glitch, they have to shoot. So that would be the rule.
Still gets through the defense, though. Yeah, that's true.
Until ELASTIGIRL shows up. So
until
I
Felix fixes the glitch.
You're the reason I have Gaston.
the other thought there, a little worried about any shot blocked?
Not too bad, especially with her passing ability and with her seeing the angles. I think she can get her shot off, kind of like Tony Parker.
All right. Not bad. All right, the next pick with Blaze in the Woods will be Aladdin from the movie Aladdin.
So I
Houston
needed some creativity and I needed some offense. And when you think creativity and you think offense, he is your James Harden. This guy is creative. He can handle himself in traffic. You saw that when he outran the entire Palace guards. He is creative and unique. This is what my team needed in a shooting guard. I know his limitations. For all creativity, not the greatest athlete, which is why I feel his comps to Harden are the closest. But with everything else that I have on my team, I can handle him not being the most athletic guy with ELASTIGIRL and Mr. Incredible and CHERNOBOG. And this just brings me, maybe Jamal Crawford. Jamal Crawford is a better example of Aladdin. And so I have my Jamal
Crawford.
Kind of
herky-jerky,
yeah. Not a real starter.
He doesn't.
Well, I was gonna say the James Harden comparison actually kind of worked when you figured in both of them had a weakness for scantily clad women, but
You need to stop talking, Jonathan.
Grew up in the desert.
Yeah.
I will steer this back. Honestly, another thought that I did have actually that he compares a lot. I just lost my name that I was going for. As a Nuggets fan, this is painting me actually like one of the greatest Nuggets of all time. Chauncey.
Alex Ayers.
Chauncey.
Chauncey Billups?
He's kind of reminds me a little bit of Chauncey. He's got that little bit of, I'm not going to like destroy you or anything, but I'm just going to hit the shot. I'm not going to be flashy. I'm just going to hit it.
Yeah, Mr. Big Shot. No, maybe.
You can hit it. All right. The next pick we have is Houston Dreambeards select Elsa from Frozen.
Literal definition of ice in her veins.
All right.
I mean, we're talking someone you're talking creativity. Literally creates one of the most creative characters out of nothing.
Are you not concerned with her abilities only being able to be used once every TV timeout and then being stuck with her regular Elsa form for the other 5 minutes of game time? That was my concern.
Her very confused, hating herself form.
No, because have you not seen her confidence that she gets in Frozen 2? So we're doing the whole body of work here.
I also see her lack of being a team player in Frozen 2.
You know,
True.
it's
True.
okay. You know what? If the teamwork's broken, Felix can fix it. We're good.
He can't fix a personality that doesn't like working as a team.
No, we got that, but I'm not really worried about that with Elsa. I need someone to come in and hit daggers, and she can make ice cold daggers out of.
Where do you have her?
I have her at shooting guard.
Shooting guard. Oh, so Tigger was your
small forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with the next pick, the Houston Dreambeards also select Quasimodo, the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna take him as our four. He is gonna be our gentle giant, kind of where you see he likes to play as that kind of glue guy, kind of stay in the background and run all of those things. But then when the moment gets a little bit too heated with creepy pervert guy that's trying to burn people at the stake, he will sweep in and save the day. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with Quasimodo.
You're not worried about a movement that he's can't move that well.
Okay, have you seen?
I mean, that's called
he jumps all over the stinking bells. He jumps over all the stinking bells. There is not a single frame of that movie where it feels like he is hindered in movement.
Yeah, except when he runs and walks.
Have you seen Zion run? Have you seen Zion run? Have you seen Zion run? And he is still dominating the league. We are fine.
I totally understand the
Fix-It Felix and Quasimodo running. People are gonna watch your team just for the humor and watching them try to play.
With the next pick, and after this pick, the Mighty Dunks, you are on the clock. But with the next pick, Blazed in the Woods selects Robin Hood, the movie Robin Hood.
Yeah. So I literally just drafted Damian Lillard. That is the closest comparison that Robin Hood has. He's a little small, but he can shoot ridiculous distances. He's used to overwhelming odds. And even when the sheriff in the archery contest screws up his first one, his aim is so incredible, he shoots his arrow mid-air and drops it down. This guy's going to be shooting from 40 feet away, no problem. Plus he's a leader. Look at the entire group of people that he brings together. So all of this will keep my number one pick, CHERNOBOG, in line. It'll keep Aladdin from going too Aladdin-esque. And athleticism. He's a fox. But we also see him run and use his hands in the movie, so I don't have the questions a la Simba with how is his paws going to work. So it covers that multitude aspect of animals in human form. It's just, I drafted Damian Lillard he was my number 2 point guard. Stitch was number 1, and he disappeared in the first round. So I'm very happy to pick up Robin Hood in the 5th.
That's a solid pick right there. That's
exactly who I was going to pick.
That was for the record. I just got to put this out there. We might edit this part there, but the Mighty Dunks sent me an early pick before it was their turn. And that was
he was going to be my Klay Thompson.
Robin Hood, shooting guard. Then right after that, Blazed in the Woods, Robin Hood, and I'm like, oh.
Oh.
All right, but with the next pick, the Mighty Dunks, and then the Tangles, you are on the clock. The next pick, Mighty Dunks select Frozone from the movie The Incredibles.
Okay, so we're kind of, when we get hyped, when people get too out of it, he can just kind of get everybody to chill. Again, we need a closer. Gaston is cocky enough, but we really need someone who's again, has ice in his veins and is actually going to be capable of doing things more often than Elsa. Basically Elsa, but cool. And so that's why we went with Frozone.
Yeah, but his powers are directly tied to how hydrated he is. So if you run out of Gatorade, you are in trouble.
But
he's still more athletic than Elsa without her powers.
They're not going to be playing inside a fire. That was the only time Frozone ran into problems. And I don't think the arena will be on fire. Now, CHERNOBOG will give Frozone some problems when he lights on fire. But much better than Elsa athletically outside of the power moment. So I like Frozone.
That's a good pick. That's a solid pick. All right, with the next pick, Tangles select Tarzan from the movie Tarzan.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
That's another pick that probably should have gone earlier.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, he slipped.
Tarzan was my other shooting guard that I had in.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I had a shooting guard, and then the commissioner reminded me I didn't. So anyway. Tarzan's my shooting guard. I think it's pretty obvious. He's Tarzan.
He kind of reminds me a little bit of. He's got kind of that bit of that Dwayne Wade, where I don't know how good he's going to be deep. Like I don't think he's going to be a 3-point threat, but Dwayne Wade is carved out a notch as possibly the greatest shooting guard ever, and he really wasn't that great at hitting threes. That's you don't necessarily need to.
I see him as
there are at least 5 shooting guards that are better than Dwayne Wade.
Let me talk and you hush. Okay, so I see him as he works really hard and he's going to find a way to do what he needs to do. So, like, he couldn't climb a tree the normal way as all the other gorillas, but he found a way that works for him. So he might not be able to shoot a 3 like you think, but he's going to find a way to do it. So he's creative and he's going to do what he needs to do to score and help win the game.
And extremely athletic.
And very athletic and strong, in shape.
That Dwayne Wade comparison is pretty apt, though. They're just might not be orthodox, but is definitely going to figure out ways to get it done.
Yep.
All right. With the last pick in the 5th round, and following up one of the things, so our 6th round, I think most of our players, that's our X Factor player pick. So we're going to kind of go through that. We're still going to the same reverse order, but this is our final starter pick is going to be the Frozen North selects Pegasus from Hercules.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in Pegasus with the size to match up against the other 4s in the league. What people forget is, I mean, Pegasus is just as deified as many of the other characters in the movie of Hercules. I mean, he's literally created from the clouds by Zeus himself. You think of his intelligence, you think of his resourcefulness, strong-minded, sharp personality, really good wit. And here's the other thing, thinking ahead to free agency, he's best friends with Hercules. And so who knows where Hercules ends up, but I think we make a play for that in the long run. So really confident with that pick.
And I'm the next.
He went point guard first.
Look, I got my roster size is very, very, very varied. So
yeah, he's actually
you can't give me that. You can't.
I'm talking about
give me that.
forgetting this guy because he's tangent. You know, he's kind of connected to a superstar.
Kind of. Pegasus and Hercules are besties.
Yeah, but you could maybe pick like an actual superstar connected to another superstar, maybe.
But I needed a power forward, and I mean,
there's plenty of power forwards still left.
He was the highest on my board.
Yeah, that was second highest power forward on my board. So
I've got 4 left.
Yep. All right.
I mean, I have a few left. Pegasus was my top. So
yeah.
So our X Factor, I say we're at the X Factor again. This is a bench player, a coach, owner, whatever we got through. So that next pick, the Frozen North selects Mushu from Mulan.
absolutely, Mushu jumps in as kind of the player coach mentality. You know, he's got that point guard mindset, but he's a coach. You see the work that he's done with Mulan. So we bring in that familiarity with the team, as well as Mulan is the best shooter on my team. So just continuing to utilize that and make that happen and keep her in tip-top shape. I mean, he literally did something from nothing. And his coaching methods are proven, even though his methods seem a little eccentric. I'm willing to roll with that. Works for Tom Brady's personal trainer and stuff. So, you know, we'll roll with it.
All right. We did say that everyone does get like leveled up to at least like 5 feet tall, but you realize in the movies you have like a grand total of 4 feet at point guard, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, like I said, he's player coach. It's like if Stitch gets hurt sort of thing, which is practically impossible. So he's not going to see any minutes really, but it's really for that coaching mentality. I mean, this is bringing Vince Carter off the bench sort of thing. The mentorship, the experience, that sort of thing. It's not the playing time for sure.
All right. With her last pick, the Bengals select, very fitting, Rapunzel from the movie Tangled.
Okay, so 1, she has healing powers, so you're never going to have to worry about any kind of injuries or anything like that, even small ones. But 2, people always underestimate her. And you see that through the movie. They underestimate her, and she still knocks him out with a frying pan. So she's more athletic than you realize.
Well, a question I would have officiating wise, if someone trips over her hair, is that a foul?
No, it's not
That's
her
their
fault.
fault.
She'll watch where
Yeah,
they're
but
walking.
someone can yank her down by the hair. Is that a
That would
foul?
also be a foul.
I'm also envisioning her with the shorter hair, personally.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was thinking like
Okay,
with the
interesting.
braided, where they have it like braided to where it.
But yeah, if she had the long hair, she would have it braided and kind of out of the way. So I wouldn't see it as a problem.
Okay.
All right, fair. All right. So with the next pick, the Mighty Dunks select as a player coach, Buzz Lightyear.
Solid pick.
So
Solid pick.
you were talking about bringing Vince Carter off the bench as a player coach. This is Vince Carter off the bench. Except with better leadership than Vince Carter had. This is better. This is our veteran. He's going to be able to rally the troops, get everybody together. When Gaston goes off book, he can come in, immediately replace him. He's a little short, but he's got the vertical to make up for it. Like, this is a solid pick.
He's short, but he's definitely solid. He's got weight behind it. I mean, we don't know. I'm assuming we're gonna say he's playing in his outfit uniform. That's got something there.
Yeah.
All right. That's not it. Yep. All right, so that's good. Well, I've got the next pick, so even though we're not quite there, we're gonna go ahead and move on to it. All right, with the next pick, Blazed in the Woods selects Merlin.
So this is my coach. Everybody else is doing players. I have a guy who can travel to the future and come back. Your halftime adjustments, I will already know what you will be doing and can plan ahead of time what you're planning to do. If there's a problem that he sees, he can plan to come into the game and shapeshift into anything for a 24-second period. If my guys are getting whooped, he can fill a very quick spot. Obviously, we then have to foul to get him out of there because I cannot be rocking an 80-year-old man on the court in regular athletic form. But for your one-time quick moment things off the bench as that player coach, he's seen all of time in all of history. He is the best player coach option out there because he can fill nearly any void.
And that was
He would have been my number one if Ben had not clarified rules. I'm still glad that I got Merlin for my X Factor because he's incredible.
That it is. I think that's the perfect place. That's where Merlin should be. That's part of the reason I think we went with the rules that way is he's a secondary character he's a secondary character that if you first think of Merlin, like he shouldn't be your number one overall pick. Not that stops anyone from picking players just because they shouldn't be number one overall picks. But
like our number one overall pick.
I wasn't naming names, but Merlin shouldn't be a number one overall pick. But Merlin, that's a perfect place for him. Strategizing as a coach, that's the perfect place for him. However, that being said, I will say this. And if he doesn't go here, I'm going to definitely make sure he goes here with the last pick. In the Disney draft of 2020, this is probably the most fitting draft. Actually, this pick, I mean, clearly it works but this pick would probably make more sense as a number one overall pick than what he would do, depending on how you want to take it. Mickey Mouse as owner.
What can I say? Just keep winning. I am light years ahead on this one. And there, nothing else. Have you ever seen Mickey lose? Anything?
Yes.
On an asterisk point here, I had thought Ben had stated no original characters because Sorcerer's Apprentice would have been my shooting guard had the rules for Mickey Mouse been applied.
No, I had made sure they were.
Stated that.
I had stated they were absolutely in, whether there was a movie for them or not, because they are the most quintessential
Do we want to go over who we're surprised didn't get drafted?
We will.
Can I explain?
I want to hear the explanation for Mickey. Because if
you know what? If we start losing the season, I'm going to eminent domain all your players onto my team. Like, I mean, I've won. I have won. Mickey Mouse is the owner.
Not hypothetical. Win your terribly constructed team with your...
John has 2 players that don't have thumbs.
Still got a defense.
But no, the thing is, with this team, he is able to buy. If nothing else, he's able to buy. My first thought, when I thought of an owner, I thought of Scrooge McDuck, the owner. He went someone richer than Scrooge McDuck.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
I'm so happy that was the final pick. So I'm gonna go through the teams. Then we're gonna go through the people that were surprised didn't get drafted. So the Houston Dreambeards with the #1 overall pick, Fix-It Felix at point guard, Tigger at small forward, Wreck-It Ralph at center, Elsa at shooting guard, Quasimodo at power forward with Mickey Mouse as owner. Again, I almost say that might save you from your first overall pick.
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse was brilliant.
That's there.
I don't know. I'm still going to make fun of him for it.
Oh, we're still going to make fun of him for it. Absolutely. Because that was not his plan going into this thing. He developed that as he went on. I don't believe that was his plan. But anyway.
No, you took away his X-Men and Marvel people, so.
Blazed in the Woods. We have CHERNOBOG at center, ELASTIGIRL at small forward, Mr. Incredible at power forward, ALADDIN at shooting guard, or point guard, Robin Hood at shooting guard, Merlin as coach, occasional energy player off the bench. The Mighty Dunks, Hercules, son of Zeus, center, Maui, Moana, power forward, Gaston, small forward, Penelope von Schweetz at point guard, Frozone at guard, and Buzz Lightyear as an X Factor off the bench. The Tangles, Beast at center, Chang at point guard, Rafiki at small forward, Zeus at power forward, Tarzan at shooting guard, Rapunzel as team doctor. I don't know if that's the correct position you had there, but I like that. And then for the Frozen North, Stitch at point guard, James P. Scott at center, Mulan at shooting guard, Simba at small forward, Pegasus at power forward, Mushu as the player coach point guard. Yeah. That's it. I mean, it's there. We didn't fully clarify how animals were going to be able to shoot, but, you know, I mean, there's still.
I think if you watch Robin Hood, it's pretty clear that in Disney you can just have them work like humans. So I just put it like that.
I can give Simba, like I can see Simba, but Pegasus is a horse. Like horses' arms, legs don't bend that way.
Pegasus got wings, boys.
Yeah.
Don't ever forget. He got wings.
Pegasus is Randy on everything, isn't it?
I'm just seeing Pegasus as
I actually think
Griffin
in
as
the
a
movie,
rookie.
doesn't he actually?
He's just dunking everything.
Blake Griffin is a rookie. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I see Pegasus.
Doesn't Pegasus do something athletic and shooting wise, even in the movie?
He's super athletic. That's what I'm saying. Is his athleticism is very,
I'm almost
very
positive
underrated.
they have him holding a ball and stuff. So there's a way. I'll have to rewatch the movie, but I'm almost positive they do have him standing and holding things with his front feet. So
who was people's
he's
omission that hurt them? I have two that I really wanted. I wanted
Stitch. Man, Stitch was my plan.
Well, but that wasn't drafted, period. My free agent signing, I'm bringing in for X Factor, Boyd from Incredible 2, because she can have somebody do an over and back, you shoot the ball, boom. Boyd instantly puts it for a point into your basket. Very limited. But then for size, I really, really wanted Tamatoa from Moana because he is wider than he is tall. Half of the court would be shut down just with that guy on it. However, you are also dealing with the fact that he's a crab, and so those pinchers have some major liabilities. But just to deal with like the anti-athleticism, you park him somewhere close, and the crab will jump in, literally block the entire key for 3 seconds, and then get out before defensive 3-second technical.
You would just have to wave something shiny though, and then
I feel like he's very easily distracted, like Glenn Davis, maybe.
My biggest one that I was kind of surprised didn't get picked. I have a ton, but I was kind of surprised that Maleficent and Hades didn't get picked.
I almost chose Hades over Zeus,
Hades
but I
close,
felt like
yeah.
Zeus is a better team player, to where Hades is just going to set everyone on fire.
My other one was, especially because there were so few small forwards, I was really surprised nobody went with Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Was that
just
a
for
property?
like basically being Kevin Durant.
Is that Disney property?
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. I forgot
is.
though. I think that
Release.
But when I played Gaston at 3, I had to shuffle. He was originally going to be my 3.
I was surprised no one chose like Clayton or Cocoam from, because they're super athletic big dudes as well.
I had Kerchak was the other one. Captain Gantu from
I
Lilo
almost
and
played
Stitch.
Kerchak as my 4.
Emperor Zurg from Toy Story was another one. Baymax. Alice in Wonderland. Alice, when she like nibbles on the cheese and becomes huge, or the little piece of cake or whatever it is, becomes
It's
huge.
cake, not cheese, but okay.
As far as power forward, yeah. Woody I had as
I thought Woody would have been
a small
picked.
forward. I had Baloo and Kronk, and then Cobra Bubbles and
Kronk
Little
is
John.
DreamWorks.
No, Kronk is.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
I literally just watched this movie on Disney Plus. How dare you?
The struggle with Kronk is his intelligence.
That's my
true.
issue. That's why I didn't choose him. He's really dumb. You just throw.
Well, I don't know. I feel like he's a better pick than Quasimodo.
Yeah, I was with Kronk.
No,
That
Quasimodo's
was a
got a
good one.
lot better brain than
Okay,
him.
so I almost went really out of the box and went Mr. Potato Head as a just fill everything. Like,
so when I pull his arms out and his feet, is that a technical?
Definitely a foul.
yeah, but like, I mean, let's just be honest. Our rim protection is suffering a little bit. He leaves, comes back as a tortilla. Like, all of a sudden he's lanky and can block everything. You know, we need to push someone around. He goes and puts some more junk in the trunk. I mean, it's
Dash is the big one from The Incredibles. That
Dash,
nobody picked Dash. That's kind of crazy.
I also
I
had.
was surprised no one's picked Violet either.
Yep.
Violet could set some major screens.
Yeah, with the limitations of Ben's super speed being diminished substantially.
That's what I thought. If
And
he
the
had
intelligence, because
superpowers,
he's also an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah,
that's true.
My backup small forward, if I couldn't get Elastigirl, actually would have been Hank from Finding Dory, because he's an octopus.
yeah.
Look, getting
Good
past
call.
all those arms. But I got Elastigirl, so I didn't have to go Hank.
Well,
From Finding
I had-
Dory.
when you asked the aquatic question, I was like, going King Triton on something? Like, what's he?
We did at the Downey Roundtable talk about him. The fact that you said they wouldn't get legs meant I'd be stuck with a merman on the court, and that was a no-go. That's a big no-go. But Hank now in the movie he only has 7 arms, but still, like, good luck getting around 7 arms. If you think
The other X Factor, the X Factor one for me was I was originally going to go with Knowsmore as my coach from Ralph Breaks the Internet. But with Buzz still being there, I kind of had to, readjust. So
I had 2 more I thought of. Oh, go ahead.
So I almost went in with Magic Carpet as the 3-and-D specialist. Good smothering presence, especially with the flying. I was really tempted. If I had not gotten Stitch, I would have gotten Hiro Hamada from Big Hero 6 as my point guard. 14-year-old boy genius. I think he could hang with the big leagues. And then I totally would have used Cusco as my bankroll. So that was. I mean, he owns an empire, so I figured that would play into it. You know.
The other one is Arthur from The Sword and the Stone. That nobody took him for a point guard is kind of surprising.
Well, no, because he's kind of a klutz.
That's true.
What a screw up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, he's sweet and he's going to be a good king, but do I want him on my sports team?
No.
It's true. He hasn't grown into his body yet.
Yeah. I was surprised no one took Merida for just Steve Kerr.
Thought about it a little bit.
3-point shooter. And then also I can tell we hate the mid post because no one took Captain Hook.
I was like Peter Pan was on my shooting guard.
I had Peter Pan. I had Peter Pan as a point guard, but when I went with it was between him and Vanellope.
Okay,
the flying being nerfed.
I'm gonna pick as my coach Milo Tatch from Atlantis.
See, I had Dr. Sweets as a shooting guard.
Another coach that I kind of wanted something. I'm going to go old school here, but it was a movie I loved as a kid. Sir Basil of Baker Street.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that'd be a good coach.
I mean,
very good coach.
Sherlock Holmes without the social problems, like really, like. And then another, because he's also one of my favorite characters in movies. He didn't no direct stars, but I still say he's the greatest Disney prince of them all. Like as a kid, like that's who. Prince Philip from Sleeping Beauty. Like, but
actually,
I had him on my list as one of my backups.
Yep.
So,
I also think like the genie is a good coach as well. You see him as that character throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Until Ben's nerf of the shapeshifters, I also had Murloc from the DuckTales movie because that guy transforms into a giant bear all the time. However, being limited, I would have been shapeshifting galore. Merlin, Madam Mim, Murloc. Like I would have had 3 shapeshifters. And then Commissioner comes in and smashes all of it. Also, for an underrated 4, Shere Khan would be a very underrated.
Yeah, because he definitely uses like an opposable thumb.
Absolutely. And once again, the arena is not going to be on fire. Mowgli doesn't beat him in the movie if there's not a lightning where he ties fire around him. He's a very Frozone-esque level person.
But Shere Khan's also going to eat all the human audience people.
See, Baloo was another. I had Baloo and Little John as my power forwards. So Baloo would be the one that bang inside. Little John would be your stretch 4 that could also bang inside.
I had Little John higher than Baloo because Baloo's effort is really
a problem.
Relax. Yeah.
Yep.
Baloo is definitely the Eddie Curry of this experiment. Yeah. And Shere Khan is a Sheed. Like definitely gonna get a lot of texts.
Yeah.
I also had 2 other 5s. Henry J. Waternoose would have been a big problem. The original bomb. And Ursula. Ursula would have been problems on the post as well.
Sure. I also had Tantor as a 5. Think he'd be a good shot blocker.
Yeah, there would have been some solid options.
As far as small forwards, it's really hard to find them. The ones that we haven't mentioned, I have Goofy. That was where I put him.
Sure.
He's a little big.
But he's kind of lanky. So I was thinking like a Kevin Durant kind of lanky, or even like an OG Anunoby, really more. So like not really that great. I also have Randall Boggs from Monsters Inc.
Oh, that would be a good one.
I thought about Randall. Yeah.
Dr. Philosopher from The Princess and the Frog.
Yep. That was another one I was thinking about.
And then I was thinking Wingspan, so I put King Louie.
Yeah.
See, I thought King Louie, but he's kind of reckless.
Yep.
So I didn't think, as far as the team aspect, you don't want a bunch of people who are going to go crazy on you.
All right.
Like, while the beast is reckless, he's also going to listen to reason.
And there's 2 more small
And
forwards.
I don't think King Louis will.
Yeah.
One more is Dean Hardscrabble. You want to talk about wingspan? That Dean had gigantic wingspan.
Mm-hmm.
For Sully would have been very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your last one?
Did no one pick Sully?
Yeah, Sean did.
Yeah, Sean.
I was gonna say, I thought that was picked because I marked him
Number
off.
6 overall.
What, you think you had one more, Kyle?
No, it was a good draft. I feel very confident. I'm going to take the title.
Absolutely. Let's do this, guys.
All right. I will run them there, and I'll let you know what happens.
Sounds great.
All right.
Bye, guys.
All right. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for joining
Bye,
us.
everybody.
If you like this, if you actually, best way to do this, actually, hey, if we post this, comment on who you think's got the best team. We'll look it up and who's got the most votes. We'll declare them the winner. So,
All right.
Jonathan's going to lose.
No, because everyone's going to get bought off by Mickey. All right. Have a good one, everybody.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay.
Yeah. That was good. Awesome. I said that was